Hi everyone, Jarrod Nickel, Executive Director of Project C.O.E.com here, and I know it's been probably over a year since we've last done a video review, and for that I apologize. It's just that we were looking for different ways of getting, actual gameplay footage for you, but it just didn't pan out, so we decided, you know what, let's just give our fans some video content, and at least it's better than nothing. So, to jump back into our video reviews, we're going to start with SOCOM 4. Now before I begin, I should let you know that we have changed the review structure. We no longer issue actual grades. We instead talk about, what really highlights the game and some of the things you should watch out for. Because let's face it, you're going to play a game, I'm going to play a game, and you decide that it's a 9, I decide it's an 8.5 or an 8. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, all you guys care about are the same things we care about. Is the game fun to play? What makes it good? And what are some of the things that are a little inconsistent with the title? So, with SOCOM 4, I had a problem the minute the game arrived, and that is the PlayStation Network's down. So this review is solely based on the single-player portion of the game. That's probably a good thing, because if you remember, Confrontation, which was the last SOCOM game, wasn't exactly the greatest game in the world. So to start off, I was really happy that Zipper Interactive decided to release a so-called real SOCOM. Okay, so, the good. What makes this game interesting? Well, for starters, the new setting, I thought really sort of helped this, so-called aging franchise. Sort of like Modern Warfare did for the Call of Duty series. You can expect it to, sure, take place in jungles and what have you, but also take place in some villages and some urban settings. So that was kind of neat. Same basic gameplay that you're used to, issuing commands, securing locations, taking out targets, etc. But this time with a twist where there's some stealth missions thrown in for good measure. Now they could have gone a little bit further with this, because I find sort of the breakup is always the same. You go stealth mission, then regular, command mission, back to stealth mission, etc., etc. I think they could have done, a little more variety in just some of the objectives that you do, because at the end of the day, even though there are different tasks, it sort of melds together into the same thing. Another thing that I really enjoyed with SOCOM 4 were some of the gameplay modes. There's a lot of variety offered here. You have the single player mode, you've got online modes, and you have something called the custom campaign, which is kind of neat. You can modify 6 different maps to say the amount of enemies that are going to be in the map and their aggressiveness, etc. It was kind of interesting. Another area that I thought was quite well done was with the weapon level up system. Essentially, this works with the weapons that you use more often get stronger and better as you use them. And I don't just mean stronger as in, the bullets, are just new ammunition or something like that. No, it's things like a machine gun will get like a suppressant on it. It may be able to carry more ammunition before it needs to be recharged, things like that. Also in the graphical department, more of the audio-video department, solid voice acting all around for everyone. No one sounds like they're out of place, nobody sounds kind of bored or anything like that. And finally, there's some good move support here if you have the sharpshooter. It doesn't work quite as well as in Killzone 3, but most certainly the standard move support works rather well. As for 3D TV support, I do not own a HD TV that supports 3D playback, so have no clue how that is. But what I saw at E3 I thought was quite enjoyable. For any of you who may actually have a 3D TV, we'd love to hear what you think of it. Okay, so what I didn't really enjoy was the cliched story. All the characters are sort of mundane and boring. You're a 5-person team, and yet all you ever do is get story information on the two main characters, which I thought was kind of silly, because if they would have diversified your team better, I think it would have went a long way. Finally, lack of challenge. Believe it or not, if you play this on normal, you're going to be able to breeze through the game in about 5.5 to 6.5 hours. I suggest you up it to hard, and even then, the challenge offered is not that great. And that's because some of the dumb AI, the enemies just aren't intelligent. They don't hunt you down properly. They're supposed to flank you, but if you use your commands properly, there won't be, like I say, it won't be any challenge whatsoever. And that all boils down to not really needing to use strategy, which is kind of unfortunate. Had the enemies been more fearless or more intelligent, you would have been forced to use strategy, which isn't that the whole point of the game, or am I missing something? Another reason why you don't really need to use that much strategy is because of the linear progression of the game. There's usually only one way to go. Some of the maps offer a little bit of variety, maybe 2, 3 different paths, but very, very infrequently. And this one's just really weird. You can save your down teammates, but the minute you die, it's game over. Does that really make any sense? At least in Killzone 3, someone was able to bring you back to life. Now, I know in the co-op modes, of course, your partners are able to do that. But like I say, I don't really have the means to play any online abilities thanks to the PlayStation Network being down, which sort of sucks. And finally, what we call the ugly. I gotta say, it's some of the graphics. Sure, some of the backgrounds look nice, some of the foliage is pretty like detailed, animations are good, but when you're down, sort of crawling through all the foliage, and you clip through all the grass, all the ferns, everything like that, it really distracts from the experience big time. So there you have it. There's SOCOM 4 in a nutshell. For the single player portion of the game, I would strongly say give the game a rent before you decide it's your cup of tea or not. It's definitely one of those games where you say, you know, it's good but not great. Now again, I have not tried any of the online portions, so it's very possible that those would change my opinion. For the detailed review, hit up Project C.O.E.com. And as always, I would like to say thank you very much for your continued support. We'll be back soon with another video review.